Hi there guys, Farmer Bob here, man. Welcome back to my channel. Great to be back, guys, with another map making video. Wonderful, guys, wonderful. If this is the first time that you are here on my channel, a warm welcome. Also a warm welcome to all my faithful subscribers, my Patreon supporters, and everyone else that do share my stuff and watch my videos and share it, and I really appreciate that, guys. Great, so today let's get stuck in. What are we going to do? I've got this friend that is in Switzerland, and he saw this barn that reminded him of a barn somewhere there in Switzerland. It's sort of the way barns look there, or custom to their culture or whatever, you know. So what happens is he asked me to look if I can make this a cow barn. It was designed to be a cow barn because you can see there's like feeding troughs in here, with some gates and some doors and stuff, you know, and it's got the second floor or second story, and it's got a door for access there. So I suppose you will probably do a ramp up here, or build it on a slope or whatever, and have a ramp that goes in there, or the slope to go in there. That type of setup, you know. Anyhow, so unfortunately, let me just pull this into view. This is not a cow barn, it's just a normal placeable, which is fairly alright. So I thought, let me take you guys along for the ride, and let's make this a cow barn, or see if we can make it a cow barn. So yeah, just hang tight, sit tight, and strap yourself in, guys, because it might be a long video or it might be a short video. I really don't know. So the very first thing that we want to do is take the cow barn big, because if you go to the cow barn large, I think, not big, cow barn large, if you go to the smaller ones, you have other things, but the cow barn big has got volume, and we're not going to do the one with the auto feeder. We're just going to do the straightforward cow barn, you know, that's in game. So let's have a look at that quick. If I want to quickly go there, I can close that. Farming Simulator 25, data, placeables. Then we go down to Rudolf Hoffman, and then cow barn big. There it is. Not large, it is big. Good stuff. All right, so now two things that we're going to have a look at is the i3D in there. There's some stuff in the i3D that we need to export. All the cow stuff. So we will need to export those. The solar panels and all that type of stuff we don't really need. But what we want to do is look at food, straw, yeah, food, straw, the milk tank, yeah. So that I'm just gonna see if I can select them like this. Yes, I can. So you hold in control and click. So food, straw, milk tank, liquid manure, water places, navigation, route node. Yes, definitely. Fence, definitely. Vector garage, we're not going to use that because that is the little auto feeder thing. Warning stripes, storage, teleport node, I'm sure we already have. Info trigger, let's do the info trigger. Vector loading trigger, definitely. Visuals, collisions. All right, I think those are the basics that we're going to need. So we've selected them all, and then we're going to go and file, export with files, because we want to take everything along to our mod. Don't worry, it's going to stay in game, but we want to take everything in the i3D over so that we don't necessarily have anything missed, you know. So what we're going to do is go to our, where is it, mods, there it is, and then this barn is this one here, and this is going to be a temp file, so I'll just call it export, like that, just temp. So in our thingamabobby there, I'm going to save it. Now the two questions, that's always a good thing to answer correctly here. Do you want to get the parent directory? Yes. Do you want to keep relative paths? Yes. So everything stays in game. All right. So for now, I'm just going to minimize this. Go back into our barn, this new one here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add at the bottom, because all of this is already set up in this thing's XML, which is here. So we don't want to mess around with or waste time changing any of these nodes. There's a lot of nodes for the animation doors and the switches and stuff. So we don't want to fiddle around with those. But what we want to do is just go File, Import, and then Export is the one that we've got. We exported that and bring all of those in. So what I'm going to do now is grab them. First one, hold Shift, click, and then middle mouse, click and hold, drop on bank barn. All right. So it will drop everything below there in our i3D in the bank barn. All right. I don't know why they call it a bank barn, but anyway, maybe it's because it looks like a bank. I don't know. Or maybe it's supposed to go onto a bank. A bank of a hill or something, you know, a sloped hill. That is most probably what it is. All right, so now the next thing we want to do is back in Cowbarn. We want to open Cowbarn Big, not the vector one. Placeable, cow husbandry barn milk. So that's the first thing we want to change by our barn 0 is the placeable type. So it's not a simple placeable anymore, because if your type is wrong here, your stuff here at the bottom will not work. So very important to have the type here correct. And Giants is so friendly that they will give you a warning in game and tell you that your type is wrong for the placeable type is wrong. So yeah, if you have that error, you know it's this thing it's talking about here. Great. So store data, we don't worry. Function, definitely function. Adjustable meadow. So both those functions we want. So we're going to copy those functions. We don't need to worry about those two, but this we're going to change. Paste like that. Now, sorry, I'm just thinking, let us undo function garage, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add to it so that we don't lose the garage part. If there is maybe any, I didn't check if there's any triggers here for servicing or whatever other things. All right. Right, so next one is brand, species, category. Category definitely. And then the brush we want, category and brush. Okay, so copy that. Brand we don't worry, but species, what did we do with species here? Species was placeable. I think it's still placeable. Yeah. So category, we don't have a brush, so that is good. So we're just going to paint over that category, right, like that. So there's category, animal pens, brush, whatever, can be sold true, show in store true. Yes, definitely, we want it to be in store. Okay, and then in the base can stay the same. We don't worry about the base, but we have got a few things in base. We can add the rename one, so I'm just copying that and adding it here like that, and then we are there. Great, placement and all of that stuff, leveling, clearing. Now we're going to add, so we've got a hotspot on this one, so we're going to add Control C. So I'm just going to go through this whole XML from top to bottom and put over what we want here. I don't think there was a hotspot in this. So here we've got the hotspot just under AI. So let's see, there it is, paste it in there. Just roughly, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't have to be at the same spot, but just to make my life easier to compare, you know. Now, animated objects, we've got milk, we've got rolling door we don't need. So let's first take the milk over, that's an animated object. So barn, okay, animated objects. So I'm going to go to the bottom and add at the bottom once again. Not that it really makes a difference, but it does help to keep things tidy. rolling door 2, door 2, door 3, door 4, door 5. My word, this thing has got a lot of doors. 6, sliding door. And that's the end of animated objects. Dynamically loaded parts, we don't need that. The Nautilus i3D, that is a milk container. Yeah, I think we would like that as well. The control panel we don't really need, but I do want that one there. I just want to see if there's any dynamically loaded parts here. Yeah, there is. All right, so we can add it here. So we're going to grab that. Control C, milk container. Now node 0, guys, for those who don't know, that's normally your base. So if you go into your thing, node 0 will be your actual thing. So that's node 0 there. All right, so that's just so that your gizmo is at 0. That is basically why it's there. But your milk container is not at 0. It will be placed at the correct spot, you know. So anyways, there is our milk container. Did I now copy it? I can't remember, but let me do it again. Make a line open there, paste it in. So what I do is I hit enter and I hit home, and then I just paste Control V, and there you go. V for Victor. Great. So that's all done dynamically. Lights, we don't worry. Info trigger, we want that. Control C. Okay, just below lights, paste it in there. Okay, and then we're going to go to husbandry. Now this whole husbandry section we need. So I'm going to click here next to husbandry in the numbers, and then right at the bottom where husbandry ends, click in the numbers, but hold shift and click Control C, and just below animated objects we're going to put in there you go. Just make sure, just want to go empty that and then drop it in here, make a few spaces here for us, paste it in. Right, so there's our husbandry section. Very nice. Deleted nodes, info trigger vector, marker mineral feed. I don't think we're going to bring that over, but let's keep those in. I'm going to bring this over anyway, just in case. It doesn't really matter, but just in case these deleted nodes that we don't worry about. Color, we're not going to worry. Solar panels, we're not going to worry. So now the mappings. Very important to bring the mappings over. So all the levering, the painting, the testing, and the occlusions up to food, up to here, we can leave. Do we have a tip occlusion? Yes, we have. All right, so the barn does have that, or the shed, or whatever. Just grabbing a sip of coffee. So now I'm going to just copy this whole section from there. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff. Tip collision, solar panels. Let me, winter, we didn't worry about winter. Water plane we do. All right, I'm going to go up to there, and then we can just delete the ones we don't want. Okay, copy that, Control C, and then at the bottom, as I said, we added everything in the i3D at the bottom. So I'm going to give one line open just to distinguish between the first and the last. So that one, food places, bale trigger, door 1 base. So from door 1 base we don't need door, rolling door, sliding door, up to straw planes. So up to there we don't need, so I can delete that whole bunch. That we do need. Milk, AI loading node milk, yes. Light node, so they're from lights. There, lights low. We can do all the lights up to liquid manure trigger, up to there. So we're going to do that, delete those. Water place, navigation, fence node, very important. Vector garage, we don't need, we can chuck that. Spline reverse, spline to barn, that is for the vector garage. So I'm going to do all that stuff. Spline to garage, we don't need those. Marker mineral feed, let's leave that. Because you need to add, you have the option to give your cows mineral feed. I just can't remember if that's needed in, I know that is for the feed, for the Victor, Cowbarn Victor. Let me just see if we go to the XML of the Cowbarn mineral. I'm just going to search for mineral and just make sure. Yeah, you see. Okay, so we actually don't need the mineral feed for normal Cowbarn. Mineral feed, marker milk, marker animals, marker food, storage, teleport, info trigger, for trigger vector we don't need, loading trigger, control, can't remember what that is, but anyway, milk container, the vis we don't need, the water plane, the winter we don't need, that vis we don't need, solar panels, tip, collision vector we don't need. Alright, okay, so that is all the mappings we want. Now guys, yeah, it's going to be fun to oh my word, did I now delete all that stuff from here? Oh my gosh, I've got the wrong thing, so I just Control Z quick. I should have deleted it here. Let me just go through this again. Marker mineral feed. You guys are probably laughing like crazy. Don't worry, Farmer Bob does that now and then, go crazy and do stupid things. Marker animals, marker food, storage, teleport node, info trigger, vector we don't want, control, milk container, and then the two vis and the water plane we want. Alright, I'm going to leave it as is. So it's all these that we need to map and make sure that these are correct. Yeah, alright. So what I'm going to do then now is open this up and we're going to start with food. So food will be 08. If I look at food section is 08. So it's actually very simple. Full volume food. Let's just have a look at full volume food. So it will be 080 and should still be 060 then. Full volume food. So it will only change to 08. So here I can see all the sixes. If I highlight that 6, all those sixes here on this I need to change. So I'm just going to quickly run through them. So that's 8, that's 8, that's 8. I wonder if I double click. Yeah, I can double click as well. It's easier than to drag select, because sometimes when you drag select, you drag that little thing next to it and then you're in trouble. Then you change something that you shouldn't. Anyway, alright, so there's 08. Then straw plane, I can almost say it's going to be 09, but let's just make sure it is 9. Right, straw is 9. Back into the XML. So I now go to straw plane. That will be a 9. 9. Okay. Milk trigger. I can guarantee you it might be 10 as we go along. Yeah, it's 10. So all the 10s. So all the 9s here will be 10s. So that will be a 10. I think if I do this, it will be faster. Like that. Alright, 10. And then liquid manure trigger. Liquid manure 011. Did we catch up now with the XML? Can it be? Liquid manure. AI load liquid manure, that's 11. Water place becomes 12. So somehow somehow we caught up with the things that we skipped, so it actually works out fantastic. So we caught up. That is wonderful with the things that we skipped. Oh, but mind you, we're going to have to make sure. So water place is 12. Navigation route node. So the navigation stuff is 13. Fence is 14. That's cool. Yeah, we're going to change again. Marker milk. Warning stripes. I just wanted to see, there might be warning stripes we don't want. Milk, animals, food. All right, now all of these we want. So warning stripes are 15. So all the stripes, marker milk. So yeah, unfortunately, I have to do one at a time. So that's 5, 5, 5, and 5. Great, so 15. Storage, it could be 16. Yep, it is 17 and 18. Okay, so storage is 16, like that. Teleport node 17 and 18. No, let's just make sure. So storage is 16, teleport node is 17, I think. Storage is 16, info trigger is 17. So where's info trigger? Why don't I see info trigger? And teleport node. These two are swapped around. Why did I not get teleport node? Okay, so storage is 16. Storage is 16. No, I must go to that one, sorry. Storage, teleport, info trigger. Teleport. So teleport node is 018. So if I open that up, there it is. How can't I see it? It is here. There it is. Teleport info trigger. I don't have a teleport node. Interesting. So if I take it here, for some reason, I thought that the barn might have one, which we might have to verify. Let's just check if we don't have two. No, we don't even have one. Okay, so that is a definite must. File, export, selection. This is just a node. If I look at it, it's just an empty transform. So I don't really need I can actually just double click it, Control C, and go into mine. Yeah, let's double click, create a transform. I'm going to double click again, paste it, and there you go. Bring it in just below storage. So storage, teleport node, storage, teleport node 17. Okay. And then info trigger should be 18 and loading trigger 19. All right. 18 and 19. Just to make sure, like that. Then we have control, and I don't know what control is, but I didn't bring over control. I think it might have been the panel, but let's just have a look. What is control? Oh, it's dynamically loaded parts. That's the control panel, man. We don't really wonder if we want to put that in. Let's put it in. Why not? It is also just a node under dynamically loaded parts. Do we have? Yeah, we do have. So just copy that. And in the XML control is 20. The next one. So that's 20. So in our i3D, that's 19. So it's create a transform. Double click, paste it in there, and drop it in at 20. That's there. Right. There you go. 20 it is. Okay, so next, Next. Milk container and water plane. Okay, milk container should be 21 then, and 22. Okay, so milk container and water plane. Right, so milk container, milk trigger, milk container, also a dynamically loaded part, also a node, Control C, and this one we will need to place. Remember now, it's a node where that milk container is spawning, so it's a dynamically loaded object, so we want to go in here. I'm just going to drop it in here, create transform, paste it. It doesn't have to be in a section for dynamically loaded parts, because we know what it is. We just hasn't set it up yet. Alright, so that was milk container, and then water plane. Our last one is that one, and I just want to quickly find that, paste it here. Water. Okay, that's the 4 water plates. It's under visual. Okay, that's why we deleted the visual. But I can export these. They are also, oh no, they are actual things. So we will want to export that. So I'm going to go File, Export Selection with Files. Back in here, I'm just going to click on Export, Save. You want to replace it? Yes, please. Yes. Okay. All right. Back into ours, and then File, Import. The export, we import the export, and there's our water installed. Bring that up there, and that will be 22 in our XML. It is 22, and then it is, we just want to make sure of that, 22. Water, animal feeders, that is those things, and then the water plane. Animal feeders, cow, there should be one for each. Yeah, there it is. And then the water plane for that. Alright, so those are working together. Alright, let me just have a look. So the water plane 022 0010 4. So it was here, water plane. I just want to close that up. So it's 230010.4. So they only do the first one, if you can see there. They did not do the other planes. So only the first one. I just want to see cost received, distance blending. Just want to see visible conditions. Yeah, there's nothing special or no attributes or anything on this. It's just a normal plane. Okay, all right, just to make sure that we're on the same track. And then now water plane, we will set all these things in place when we are testing the thing. But for now, what we want to do is, I just want to test it and see that it works, that we don't have like a gazillion errors. So we did now have everything in the XML, and here we have it. I just want to see, Control F, Control C, and then there, find next. So it's only this one time. The milk container, Control V, that is dynamically loaded. There it is. What was the other thing? Yeah, it was only that. Did we bring the control over? Yeah, we did. Alright, so the control panel we're also going to have to bring over. Just go find it there, and then we want to go to control panel, i3D. Alright. Copy that. Okay, drop that in here. Also there. Alright. Just gonna fix that up. Object, change node, and that is just for the rotation of that little switch thingamabob. Rotation active. I can't even remember what that thing does, but anyway, I think it's just a control panel that sits there. I don't think it's got any functionality, but anyway, we're not going to be worried. I just want to make sure that we have that node control. I think we brought it over into ours. Control, there it is. Nice. Okay, wonderful. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just save this i3D of ours, leave both of them open, and then save our barn. Save it. Cowbarn big. We've got everything in place, so let us go into game and just check. See that this thing is actually in the shop buyable, and then see what all wonderful errors we have to fix, and then hopefully we can buy some cows. And I know everything is not in the correct position, but we should be able to at least see some cows, you know. Yeah, it will be fun. I know we will probably get quite a few errors on it, but yeah, it's just a matter of testing to see that it even works, you know. That's the main thing. I did leave that in there, so I'm just going to go in game into the in-game map. No, start, no, back, deselect all, and then here's the barn, and then I want to obviously put that in there, put on my little thingamabob so we can see if there's any, if you see any errors here on flying by, then that is from your mod desk. Not the XML as such. Your XML only comes into play the moment you open your shop and it pops in there. Then you will see errors related to the barn. But if you see stuff in here at this point, it's normally stuff that's not configured correctly from the mod desk. But our mod desk was already set up for that little shed. I didn't have a speciality or anything like that in there because it's just a cow barn. So yeah, we'll see now. We'll see now if there's anything happening. So why is it taking so long on this again? It's strange. It always hangs here by 55%, and then you're wondering what is going on, giants. There you go, something's happening. As long as you see stuff scrolling here, then you know, okay, we are safe. We're not going to be worried. We're not going to be worried. So let's have a look. So now, if this does work, guys, then obviously it's a matter of just positioning everything correctly, moving the correct stuff, not the have the things in the wrong order. So I'm just going to put some money in. And so we can buy this cow barn. I don't know how much to put in, but let us buy in here, construction, cow barns, and then I suppose it must be here at the bottom. Okay, we don't have an icon. There's no icon for it. Oh wait, and it's actually wanting to place it. Let me just bring that up. Oh yes, I thought there will be some misaligned stuff. Index not found 21.1, so we'll get back to those. But what I want to do is drop this in and now see if the rest of the stuff work. What's that warning? The yellow one, it says this one here, the yellow one. Failed to load placeable. Oh, it's dynamically loaded part, unable to find linked node. Okay, so it's just some nodes that are not correctly aligned. I thought we went through them all, but anyways. So I'm going to click, and then do you want to customize fence? So our fencing does work. I'm going to say yes. And our fencing obviously is not set up correctly. What is going on here? What's this white line here? I honestly don't know what the white line is. I might have anyway, we want to set up a fence, so there you go. I just need to move those nodes for the fences where I want the fences to go, but the main idea is just to make sure that we can do a fence, and then it should ask us, do you want meadow? I'm going to say yes, and it should plant grass for us. Oh, it's the train, man. Listen, what did I do? I messed up my in-game map by the looks of it. I was fiddling with the train the other day, and I wonder what if I messed something up there, you know, with my train video. Yeah, it's totally possible because I exported the train and I probably messed it up. But it's so simple with Steam to fix it up. So I'll just do a quick fix. Alright, so missing DDSs, and that's only the errors that we need to fix. So let's quickly run through them all. Right, so I'm very chuffed, guys. It looks like our Cowbarn is working. So let us just hammer a few of these errors out of the way. And I'm going to show you how to do most of them. Or maybe all of them. I don't know. Alright, so this I can just close for now. I think I can. Save changes. No, remember we messed it up a little bit. And then here, we want to come back here. Okay. So first of all, let us go into the game, into mods, in there, and then grab our log. This is what we want to see. Right, Control F, hit error, like that, and get to our first one. Okay, so first one is store. Alright, missing file. Store barn01.dds. Alright, so did I chuck the barn's store, or what is in here? Store barn 01. There it is, store barn01.png. Let me just have a look. Icon barn. So store barn 01. Let me just convert this to DDS because it's definitely gonna be a problem if we leave it like that. So file, save as. All I've done is I've opened it in paint.net. So all I'm gonna do is change this to DDS, the type, and just save it in the root of the thingamabob. And then make sure you select DXT5 for this because it's a transparent background. So anything that's got transparent on it, DXT5. And if it was a solid icon with everything colors and no transparency, things that you have to see through, you select DXT1 like that. Alright, so DXT5 and click OK, and we are done. Delete the PNG. We don't use PNGs. Right, so there you go. So that's one error sorted. But let me just see now where it called this from. Store barn01.dds. So it should be from our barn.xml. Icon image. Here we go. Store barn01. So let me just make sure if the naming is correct. So what I normally do is copy that. Control C, double click here. Control V for Victor, and there you go. Okay, so that should be fine. Price, daily upkeep, lifetime, all that stuff should be all right. So, next one. Missing DDS file, error can't load resource, store barn. Ah, it's going on about this store barn, eh? Okay, failed to find child 0 from node barn control. Okay, so the control, remember that control looks like we've got the wrong i3D node for control, which is 020. So let's copy that. Let's go into our XML at the bottom. The control was right at the bottom. Yeah, it is the wrong one. Okay, Control V. It was just the root, not. It didn't have a child. It was just straight. So that's why the error says it can't find the child. There's no children. Child zero is missing because there is no child zero. It's just the parent. Okay. Only 0 children given. Okay, so a Lua call stack. All right, once again, index not found. That we've already dealt that one. Now, the next one, failed to find child 1 from root node barn milk container. Only 0 children. I'm going to tell you it's probably the same thing. So milk container, Control C. Let's find that. Barn 01. Milk container. So now we're going to go into our node, milk container. It's the same thing. There's no 0. Oh, so 021, it was just the 0 that is wrong. So we just put it like that. And then lo and behold, I can see the water plane will probably also be incorrect. But let's just check the log, go through them all. So the next one, 21.1. The next one is failed to find child 10, water animal visual. All right, so that was the water. As I said, child 10, water animal feeders cow visual. So we didn't load that whole thingamabob, animal feeders cow visual. Oh, there it is. Sorry, water. What was that now? Let me just make sure. Failed to find child 10 from water, bank barn water. So we need to have a quick browse at water. It's not the plane. Could it be the plane? Let me just, I'm going to have to open that in-game Cowbarn again. So I can see where the original is loading what water. Okay, so we're going to search for water. Just to make sure. So is this water? 0230010. So let's see what the error is complaining about. Find child 10. 0230010. So in our barn, 0220010 4. We're calling that Cowbarn big. Let me just search for water in here. Okay, so we've got water and then just 4 places, all right? And then we have the 4 places and we have the water plane. So that's all the water there is. So it basically looks like it is referring to the water plane. So what I want to do then is just, it's calling 10.4. 10.4, the water plane. All right, 10.4. All right, so let's just get the correct thing by us. And we want to grab this one. It's 022.4. Copy that. And in hours, we're going to do water plane. Paste it in there, like so. And I'm almost positive that should solve. Sorry, I've closed it. Should have solved most of them. But let's just run through them again. Mainly they redo all the errors once or twice, sometimes more, especially when you get Lua call stack errors. It will rerun the errors and retry. Okay, I think that is all of it. So let us just save this just to be safe. And our XML, it is saved, and let's quickly go back in game and make sure this is now functional. Be interesting. What do you think, guys? You think we've won it? Oh my word, I don't know. We'll see just now. I'm going to just close this up again. And then if this now works, or if it's, it was working, but let's try and buy a cow now, just to see if we can actually purchase a cow. If we even see a marker, I can't remember if we brought over the markers. We'll see just now. Deselect all. We want that, and we want that, and we want that, and we want to start. There you go. Right. So this time around, hopefully it will not hang too long there by 55. It might be that caching thing with Windows 11 where it caches your stuff. Yeah, you see it went fastly past 55. There you go, much better. Because all the files are now cached and Windows is happy, so we can load quicker. Okay, alright, so once again, we want to add some bugs. Once again, I can't remember what the price was. I didn't even check. But let's quickly browse and see. And there's our icon. Very nice. Cool bananas. Drop it down there. We want to do a fence. And let's just... where was the other fence? Oh, I forgot to... I think I messed up that little fence a little bit because I put it the wrong all the way around the barn. But anyway, I didn't see the other note on this side. But anyway, can we sell it? Yes, we can sell it. Good. All right, so that does work. Let's purchase again just to make sure. And this time around, let's put it like so. Boop. Go custom fence, yes. And this time around we'll just do it like that. Plant meadow, yes, nice. Okay, that's much better. And do we have an icon? Yes, we have, with a little field of grass. So let's visit. Our teleport node does work. Are we not stuck? Yeah, it normally happens. Okay. Alright, so let me see if I can get out of here. I'll just visit the field. Alright. Now that we see these things are working, we've got the stuff flying here, the straw planes, all of that we're going to fix just now. Let's just see if these things still work. The little shed barn door things. There's our milk tank hanging in the middle of nowhere, right? And then I don't see any icons. Did I miss them? Oh, and there's one thing we are missing. That is the liquid manure. The liquid manure thingamabob. Alright, so yeah, there is still some work to do, guys. I don't see any icons. Right. Okay, so we didn't load any icons for the triggers. So... that is probably a thing. We forgot to buy a cow. So, but anyway, I'm happy to report that most of the errors are gone. So let's just check our log. Reload it. Yes. Control F. And go to error. Like that. Find next. What's this now? Index not found. What did I change on the indexing for the door left? I didn't do anything. Did I change stuff in here? I didn't change stuff in here for the door. It was food. Barn. Anyway, let us not bother with that now. Somehow I messed up my index for the door, but all right, let's look at the error. Door left, door right, that's door 1 base. That's why I put the stuff at the bottom so that indexes don't get confused, you know. we don't have these nodes or these markers in our i3D. So let us just see tip collision vector. We don't have any of that, so we can actually delete that marker mineral feed. Yeah. All right, so let us move this, because deleted nodes could, maybe, you never know what it can do. So let's leave that for now, and then go past these things. Available mods. I don't see any other errors. Okay. All right, so let us carry on, guys. Let's not waste too much time on that. What I want to do now is check the in-game Cowbarn once again. Sorry for closing it and opening it all the time. But what we want to do is check in the visuals. I know here at the visuals, I don't know why they put the stuff in here. That is so annoying. They put this this liquid manure thing there. If you see, it is part of some of the visuals. So if you, I have to come closer to select it, because otherwise you select the trigger. There you go. You see visual LOD, and then in one of these you will find the full master. Here it is. Okay, so this whole thing with its triggers and stuff, if you look at that fence, great, doesn't have triggers. Oh, because this is just visuals. Sorry guys, I'm digressing, but I want this thing as well. File export selection with files. We're going to go into export, save, replace it, yes, 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 like that. And we're going to drop it into ours right at the bottom, because it's just a visual thing. It's not really going to matter, but we want it import the export once again. Drop it in the bottom. Doop. Oh, we don't want it in water. Control X, Control V. We close water, and then warning stripes, and then we want to just drop it underneath. There we go. So right at the bottom of our whole thing. Right. So milk container is 021. Just want to see if we are still in the right thing. And 22.4 was the water. Okay, good. It was complaining about 2, 3, 4, 5. It was complaining about the doors. Where's our doors? Okay, our doors is here by animation sliding, and they've got the nodes in here. Part node 021.1. 021.1. Where's 021.1? Who changed that? I didn't change that. Ooh, what's going on here? So 021 is now suddenly, look at this, part node for this sliding barn is at 021.1. I'm confused now, guys. Let me just save myself a bit of time in downloads. I have this barn thingamabob here somewhere. There it is. Let's just extract it to there and then find it on top. There it is. This is the original. So let us quickly just see barn 01. There it is. Make sure what happened to 07, 06, 05. So I'm not smoking anything, guys. That is how this thing was set up. How on earth did that doors even work? Look at this. The node is wrong. 021, 020, 019, 018. Oh my gosh. Alright, so if I now look at our XML, if I find this is barn 01, and I did open barn 01 in that original. There is barn 01 because there's also this bank barn. But if you look at the bank barn, let me just have a look. What is the difference now between the two? Oh yeah, it's got this little funny gate things as well. So does this have? Oh, you see, look at that. Okay, so that is where 21 comes from, 26. (22), 21, it's got a fan, 21, 0. This is confusing. This is so crazy confusing. Oh my word. Alright, I'm going to figure that out on my own later on. The doors, because there's now 2 barns in this thing, and it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, I might have taken the wrong XML. I've taken barn01.xml, and bank barn is another XML by the looks of it. There's barn 01, it's the one that I'm using. And I don't actually see another XML for anything. And if we open the mod desk for the original, there's only barn 01. Oh my word, no, these things are, it's tiring how people sometimes build things, and yeah, anyway, I'm gonna not worry about that. What I want to do is get the cows to work, so we'll see later on about the doors. I'll have to add all these doors separately and just change their nodes to, it's not a lot of work, it's just this, the nodes. So I do that part node, all the part nodes, you put it at the bottom at the mapping, and then these nodes that he's done manually. So he's done some mappings, there's some mappings, and then he's done manuals, which is very weird. But anyway, door left, look at door left, and there's no door left in the mapping, you see. So I just need to check the mappings for these few little doors, and I'll sort that out. Okay, so our cow barn, I was looking at the that was for the lights. No, I was looking at the icons. Where's our icons? So I don't see any icons, so there must be icons here somewhere in this one. We missed it. So that's the husbandry, info trigger lights, loaded parts, animated objects, sorry for that, the hotspot, trigger markers. That's what we are missing. We are missing trigger markers. So I'm just going to copy these, Control C, because we have the nodes for them. Let me just make sure, trigger, just to make sure, group, info trigger. So we don't have any trigger markers. All right, wonderful. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just drop them here on top of the lights dynamically, just by the hotspot somewhere here. Home, Control V. So marker milk, Control C, in here, Control V, like that, and then find marker milk. You see, there it is. So we have the markers, the 4, but we just didn't have them called. Great. Okay. So now let's quickly just set up our thing. Oh, you know what? Wanted to just also look at the liquid manure. I think we did bring the liquid manure over. Marker liquid manure. And where's the trigger? Milk trigger, liquid manure trigger. Okay, so we have it there. Wonderful. Great stuff. So this one I can close without saving. I think while we are talking, let me just open this quick library. Farming Simulator 25. Here it is. Right click, properties, and then just installed files, verify. Okay, while we are talking nonsense and working, let's quickly let the game just sort itself out. We don't have anything open from the game, so that's all fine except for the XML, which doesn't really matter. It will replace it if it needs to be replaced. Good. So now, tip, guys. It's time for a tip. Because you are working on this thing and you can't click in the air because there's no ground, no terrain, just create a plane, so primitive plane like that, and then give it a scale on the X and Z of say 300 meters, just to make it nice and big like that, you know, and then you have something to play with, and then just go in here, give it a rigid body, and go to a static object, preset for a static object. There you go. So just temporarily we will delete it once we are done. But now what happens is now you can actually click on this thing and it will be at 0 because your plane is now at transform 0. You see, so your height and everything will always be 0. So that's a very nice way to just see how far this thing is off the ground, you know, all that kind of stuff. So very nice. Great. So first things, let's move our water animal feeders, cow. So one thing that I just never can understand is why they didn't just put the planes inside of the thing, because if I now move this, the plane stays behind. It is so frustrating. Yeah, anyway, let me so all I'm going to do is I'm going to use I'm not going to control B on it. I'm just going to use the red and the blue to position it on a spot where I think I want the cows to be, you know, or to eat or drink water rather. So let's let them drink water outside on the wall. I think that will probably be the best. That is the two big red doors, so we will have our cows come in and out here. Let me check, yeah, and then they will go eat there. So our feeding plane will be in there. So we will put our water here, I think all four next to one another. There is some space there and there, so maybe we could, mind you, this door is also going to slide, so I can't really put something in there. So what I'm going to do is that, like that, and then drop this to 90, like so. Come this way and put it here nicely in the middle. And all I want to do now is just make sure that this is just protruding the correct distance from the wall here. Nice, just like that. And then the plane for it, I think it is plane 2. Yeah, plane 2. We can change that to 90. Because we know now where it is, and bring that plane over here. Right, so good stuff. And that way you don't have to try and realign these planes, because they can be quite irritating to realign at the correct height. Because what happens is, as your tractor fills the water, this plane goes up and down, so you don't spare yourself a lot of heartache and just leave this planes as is, so that they will just like that, should be close to where I want it. Sorry, my finger's in the wrong button, that's why I'm flappering all around here. Good. All right, so that one is done. This one is close to where we want it, so let's have a look at cow, that one there. So all I'm going to do with this one is bring it to the wall and then just have it sort of almost go into the wall and then come out a little bit just there, and then find its plane. So that was plane 3 by the looks of it, and then bring that back once again like so. Nice. And then so that is cow 1, cow 2. We're not going to have cows on this side, so so let's put this on this side. And while I've got it there, I just want to see which plane is it. So it is plane 1. Yes, it's plane 1. That and if you lost your gizmo circle, you can do that. Click there on that little thing there. It will bring your gizmo circle back. And this rotate that way around, so it's minus 90 like that. And bring it close to the wall, just like that. And then did I say it was plane 1? And like I say, just use the arrows, don't control B it, because you'll thank me later to align these things. They are sometimes annoying. That's a good word for it. Right, like that. I'm just doing it quickly, not to waste too much time, guys. And then our last one, cow 3. The same thing here, and we're going to go here to 90. It's nice to have square values to work with, you know, because if you have like 37 degrees and that type of stuff, it becomes very difficult, you know, to align something nice. But because this is at 0, the base is at 0, there it's sort of much easier to see. And I see the translate is at 0.8. That is actually incorrect. It should be at 0. So I don't know why it is like that. Just for interest's sake, let's just have a look at the Cowbarn Big in game. I'm going to leave it like that because it was built like that, but you see it should always be 0. It mustn't be anything, because the moment you have it something else, yeah, it's going to cause problems. And there's a little block at the bottom. I wonder what that is. I don't know what that block is, but anyway, there is a block down there. Also something fishy. You see, oh, there's some more blocks. Maybe it's some of our triggers. That's probably our triggers sitting down there. So I'm wondering now, guys, if I should have a look at this. It is actually high. I'm going to make this, I'm going to control C just to have that height, and then I'm going to make that 0. If you do that now, then this door suddenly is too high. Okay, so I see why this guy has done that. His model was wrong from the start, so now he had to bring that down to so that these doors can be not so high in the air. All right, anyway, let's leave that alone. It's not part of our problem. All right, so we were down there by the 4 waters, and I was still looking at bringing that last plane in here, like that. And this one we don't have to swing around. We can, because, I mean, the plane is a plane, guys. So as long as it's aligned in this little box, it should all be fine. Zzz. Okay, just like that. Right, so we've got our 4 water troughs sorted. Now, the next thing, so we've done the water. So let's do our full master. I want to see or think, where should we put this? I suppose on the side of the building. So we're going to go in there. This is one of the outputs. Does it have a door on this side? No, it does not. So maybe let's give it a full master here. And once again, I'm not going to control Z. Mind you, this was actually on a concrete base, so this will not be the correct height for ground level. So I'm going to just zero this. Will it make a difference now? Yeah, it's going to. So I'm going to have to assume my bank barn, that is 0 for my bank barn. So Control C and then do this Control V. Is that it's actually lower. It is crazy. Anyway, let's just manually do it. Bring this thing up until it foot. This is where this plane of mine at 0 is now so handy for the game, you know. So just bring that like that. Great stuff. Okay, and then we don't want this thing to go like that, so we want to put it almost like that. Great. Okay, so that's our full master. Our liquid manure trigger. Okay, I think to do it correctly, let us just start from the top, because otherwise we're gonna get lost. So we have our food. We've got our full volume, exact full root node. Okay, that is the trigger to put the food down. So what we're gonna do then is now this is going to be difficult, because what's going to happen now, look at this now, guys, because you have your cows coming in here, they eat here, and then normally you will run here with your tractor to throw the food out for them. So this barn is totally wrong for this trigger setup. So what we're going to do is just change it a little bit. Full volume food. So that is going to be our full volume food. So bring this out. Oh my word. I need to align that thing now in this trough. Why is it so high? It looks like it's very high. And it's also rotated weird. Alright, that's it. Just going to bring that to 0. Sorry guys, I'm like zooming in and out here like crazy. You guys have probably got some headaches now. I'm going to put the blue arrow towards the cows. Not that it makes any difference, but just to make sure. Go to 90 degrees and then bring this thing in here. This is the full volume. It's a plane that as you chuck food in, it actually starts to fill up, you know. Now to align this thing on height, it is fairly difficult, because as you can see, you don't know where this thing is, you know, because if I go shape, non-renderable, I'm going to take the non-renderable off, and hopefully that will help a little bit with visibility. There you go. Great. So there's a tip for you guys. Just temporarily put that off, and then what I'm going to do now, I think I want to align it with the ground, just above the ground like that, and then bring it in and see where it is. Yeah, it is definitely going to be like that. All right, because it falls from the bottom up, so it goes up. So I want to just make it, lift it up slowly until I can just see it's coming into the trough. So let me just go here. So 0.339. So 0.3 will be there. 0.35 will be away. So 0.45, 0.39, 0.434 is away. Okay, 399. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave it like that, just like that. And then tip, guys, this thing is going to stick out like crazy. I don't know why it's so long. My word, it's long. It is way too long for this barn. So what we're going to need to do then now is make this thing way smaller. It is there, and it goes all the way out there. Okay, so now just click and hold and then make it smaller like that, and then let us see where we end up. So 0.5 by it's still too big. I want to get a point here. This floor is so annoying because you can't go high enough up into the air to have a good view, and then there's beams and all kinds of stuff that's in your way. Alright, so I'm going to bring this out somewhere like there. Needs to come a little bit more. Just as long as it doesn't stick out of the floor. Okay, so somewhere there. Oh, now it's too small. You see? That's going to be a story to get this thing the correct size, because now I'm going to make it bigger and it's going to stick out here. And now it's going to probably end up going out of the side on this side. Yep. Okay, so it was 5, so let us go 4, 4, 8. Alright, so it's a little bit out here and a little bit short here. So 4, 9, 9. This thing is like, I love the 9s for some reason. Alright, oh, Control Z, wrong one. So if I put it there just behind, woohoo, I think we've got it, guys. So what I'm going to do now, 0.5, scale is 0.5. I thought I had 499. 499, okay. I think it's because we made it more than 2. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. It's not a biggie. So that is our food node. So now the delivery spot for the food, I'm going to have to put that somewhere else where we can feed our cows. So you will come in with your tractor. The storage is on top on this wooden floor. And I wonder if we should make a spot here where we can feed the cows. So you can come in by this door, drive in with your, or reverse in with your trailer, and then maybe tip it here. So let's just put that trigger thingamabob. Ooh, I must go back here into the shape and then just put that non-renderable again, otherwise we will see it in game. Good thing I remembered. Thanks, guys, you really didn't even remind me. Non-renderable, make it like that, and then we've got our thing here. another thing, guys, once you have scaled your full volume, always select it, go back to edit, and then freeze transform, and just freeze the scale. Have a look at the scale. It's going to and select preserve instance is very important. It's going to bring it back to 111 for the trigger stuff. Always want it to be 111. Yeah, just a way to a tip there, avoid errors and disappointment and all kinds of things. All right, I wanted to make this 90 degrees and then make it way smaller. Sure. What is going on here? There you go. Bring this in to half there, and then just like that. This is an invisible trigger, guys. It's the exact full root node. So what you want with this thing is to have it like that. So it is between these 4 poles for our markers. We will put our markers down later on, and then you want it to just touch the ground at the bottom of the trigger, just like that. And then the same with this, go into freeze transforms and just make sure you apply the scale to be 1 again. All right, that's the correct way just to do it. And then this, I can put it like that. Okay, wonderful. Food places. Now, this food places in Farming Simulator 22, it had amazing problems with food places. So I honestly do not know if they have fixed it or if it's any better, because it always had this errors. Once you do a custom thing, it had this errors of the cow's heads can't reach the food. So it had an error that the cow head did not make it to the plane or something like that was the error. So food places, we want to drop this then down now to 90 like that. I wish you could hold the shift like in other applications, and it will give you staggering amounts of degrees, you know, like 10, 20, 30. It would have been wonderful, but yeah, I suppose it's a lot to ask, but hopefully someday, guys, hopefully someday. All right, so food place 1 will now be, where is food place 1 there? 2, 3. So what I'm going to do is just sort of move this. I wonder if I should just swap them around, because by the looks of it, it should be that way. So let's go 90 here and then bring it back and then check food places. Yeah, it's better. All right, so once I've got them aligned with the axes going down, then I can rotate them or place them correct. So I'm just going to stand here like that and zoom out so I can see. I think it's this window. If I look at this window, yeah, this window, it must be opposite that window. So I'm going to move my food places like that until food place 1 is sort of aligned with this window. That's what I want. Bring it in a little bit more. Right, I think that was maybe a little bit touched too much. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And what I can do now, I can actually bring that in to see where we are. Bring that in. So I'm going to put cow 1 rock. Maybe it's not, there's 8 of them, so it's not too far, you know. So once again, I don't want it to be too far, so I'm going to bring it in some more. Feed place 1, because remember the cow sticks his head through here, and your plane, navigation plane for the cows are going to be right there, you know. And then if it's too far from this food place, it will be a problem. So I wonder if I should put this food place maybe on this side of the fence. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sue me if you don't like it. That's what you normally say. I'm just joking, guys. I'm fooling around now, talking trash. Okay, so there you go. Right, I'm going to leave it like that. So cow 1 is there, cow 2. So now what's nice is I can't see cow 2, so that's not very nice. Where is cow 2? I haven't got it selected. That's why I don't see it. Place 1, place 2, place 3. Alright, so place 2, we want to move in there. How many? We've got 8, eh? So 2 there, 3, we can space there in the middle of that. 4. This isn't an exact science, guys, it's just roughly. Just so that it sort of looks okay, you know, it's not like it has to be perfect, it's just sort of okay. 6. Honestly, it looked like that American barn was a massive barn, you know, if you look at the size of that plains and stuff. Okay, you can spend many hours aligning stuff and going on like that. And then lastly, the bale trigger. Now the bale trigger needs to be exactly the same size as the full root node food. So I'm going to take that Control Shift C, go to the bale trigger, Control Shift V, like that. And that one there. Take the rotate, Control Shift C, and go there, Control Shift V, and there it is. Now we should have a bale trigger close where we are here. And I did forget to do that one. Go up. Let's just do the bale. Mind you, I know it's between these pillars, so that's quite convenient. Just make this shape non-renderable as well, and then in here we want to now once again bring this guy smaller. Let's just make it solid so we can see what we're doing. Right, and then make this a little bit bigger, scale it up. I wonder if I can use the same scale. Oh, I've already wondered. Might have been a good idea to keep that before you go crazy. Right. Okay, that should be all right, guys. And the same with the bale trigger. You want it just to touch the bottom. As long as it's under the ground or the bottom, then it's fine. So with this one, the same. I'm going to go shape, and I'm going to go non-renderable, and I'm going to go edit, and I'm going to go freeze, scale, apply. Okay, and then if I look here, it should all be 1 here by the scale. Close. Great. So there's our bale trigger. And now the straw, guys. Now the straw planes, unfortunately, these cow barns have this funny straw plane. So I'm not gonna be too much bothered with the straw plane now. But what I normally do with the straw planes is find a barn with a square, just one square straw plane. You can take or create a new plane for that. Let's just do that while we're at it. Have a look. It's got a lot of stuff. It's got, oh my word, it's got building shader. So it's got a building shader on it. It's got color scale to it. You can spend the time, guys, to now go and create a new plane and put all this materials on it. The diffusers, put it on there, chicken bone, big, normal, specular, diffuse, to make it look like that. I am going to go to the water side, pull this out like that, just have that for sitting in the field for now, and make sure they are way too high in any way. And these you'll have to play around with, so you sort of let them protrude a little bit, just touchy, and then as you add straw, it will lift up and come out. All right, the exact full root note straw, once again, it's another trigger, and that is also a good thing to have it where you put your bales down. So let me have a look. Exactly, straw, I want to go make that visible as well. Good, non-renderable, like that. Same as up here. So we come in there, and then we have our straw bales there. Right, and then pull it up, zip, just so you see it, and then make it much smaller, like that. Bring it over, make it much smaller again, bring it in there. I hope all of this works, guys. That's normally trial and error, you know. You play around and you fiddle until it works properly, the way that you want it to work. So I'm going to just align it like that, and then lift it up once again, just so that it touches the ground, just like that, and then make it non-renderable. And we're going to go into there and quickly edit, freeze, transforms, apply, close. Great. Okay, so the milk tank, milk trigger, milk tank. Okay, so milk tank, I wonder, where shall we put this milk tank? That is something that can actually probably be accessed via this door. Maybe we should put it up here. Milk trigger, Control B. I'm going to drop this in here. And once again, just make it like I can see. Very big, nice and big. So we will go through this other door to access this milk trigger. Like so. All right. So that's the milk trigger. Now the milking robot. That is now another thing. The cows. The milk tank. So let's see at the bottom. Milk container. Okay, so that's the milk container. We'll drop that down a little bit later, but let's just go down the list. So now I remember these robots, I think, milk towards the blue. So there are three of them. So the cows come, let's say they come in on the left, they eat. We've put the eatery now. Where did we put the eatery? We put it on that side. Okay, so this side is not going to have food places, just for show. So we can't have the milking there, but we can maybe see how much space we have here for milking down this row. So let us go milking robot 1. So I'm going to just put it a little bit away from the wall like that, because I know that you actually want to work behind it. So let's put it there, for instance. Robot 2, put it there. And robot 3, and these things, once again, it's trial and error, guys. So you're going to have to adjust it. You put the node where you think the robot is going to be, and then you come out and see. So we have 7259 on the red, but we want to have a look at the blue. So the blue is 563. Control C on that. So we can make all blues, Control V. Oh no, that is not the blue, that's the red. That's not typical, you know. It is so crazy, these things. So the blue is the red and the red is the blue. All right, so we want the red, Control C. And we want the red, Control V. Just so that they're all like on the same distance away from the wall. Control V. Okay, so I'll put one robot there, one robot behind this pole somewhere, and one there, just for the heck of it. All right, so that's our things. And then AI loading node milk. That is just a node, and we're going to put it in the center of this trigger, which we forgot. So the milk trigger, transform, Control Shift C, grab that, Control Shift V, and there it is. And then this trigger we want to shape and just make it non-renderable like that. Great. And then the next thing is our liquid manure. So the same thing with that liquid manure trigger. That is very simple. We find our little thingamabob. Where's the trigger? And bring it here. And bring it here like that. Let's go there and make that 90. And I'm going to put it like there, just next to that steel frame thing there, and then obviously center it roughly like that. And then once again, just let it gently just go into the ground, and we are fine. We didn't scale it, that's all right. We can make it non-renderable. Good stuff. Great. And then AI node liquid manure will be the same as the trigger. Control Shift C like that, Control Shift V, and there it is. Water places we have thoroughly done. Water place 1. Oh, wait a second. We haven't done the water places. So what we want to do now is grab animal feeder cow 1 and then water place 1. So let's see, Control Shift C, and then go there. Is that the same? All right, that works. Water place 2 will be Control Shift C, that one there, Control Shift V. Water place 3 will be this one, C, and there, and V, and the last one, that one there, C, and place 4, draw V. Right, there you go. So that's our water places. Navigation mesh shape. Now this is where your cows walk on, guys. I've made a full video on how to build a nav mesh for your cows, but I'm just thinking now, walking plane, that is for the inside of your building. So what I can do, is sort of just get this thing sort of aligned here, make it smaller and fit it and carry on with it until it's sort of fitting in this building just for now. But I'm not going to create a whole plane and everything now. It's a long process, but do check my video, do watch my video on that, how to create planes for the animals. So once again, I'm just going to put it just to be above ground. And you mustn't put this too high, because otherwise your cows will walk in the air. So just basically just kissing the ground like that, almost like that. Good. And then have it there and there. And what I'll do now, oh, look how nice this thing is around the poles. It's almost as if it's made for, oh my word, look at this. It's almost as if it's made for this barn. I can't believe it. That is amazing. All right. So I'm going to make it smaller. So it fits almost to the door there. You can't say it doesn't work well. So let us have a look. I'm going to put it like there. Ooh, I've made it way too small now. Ah, I think that's all right. I'm going to just leave it as is. Maybe just space it a little bit more, like so. That's close enough. All right, so the cows can walk here inside, and this thing needs to be very close to that feeding spots, as I told you, if not overlap them, but just like that, it's close enough. And then the same with the nav mesh. I'm probably going to have to quickly just freeze the transform for that, apply, right? And then the walking plane, because the walking plane was the same, I'm going to take the nav mesh shape, Control Z. I wonder if I can undo. Oh, just don't tell me now. Okay, just leave it at 1. I'm going to just roughly scale this thing quick. Man, I hate this floor, this wooden floor that you can't properly see. I think that's close enough. Once again, I'm going to put that there, just as long as they've got some stuff to walk on. And this is over. Come a little bit in there. Oh, it can come away some more. Right, okay, so that's all right. You only need it inside, because the fence outside creates its own navigation mesh for the cows to walk in your fence. Good, so that's the navigation route node. Now I wanted to quickly take this, change its shape back to non-renderable, and the walking plane, just quickly see that it's the correct height. You see, if it's not correct height, you will have problems. Just like that. Okay, and then just make the shape non-renderable. Good. I think that's all good. Now fence. We have the fence nodes. Alright, so that's fence node 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so in the vicinity of where you want the cows to be. So fence node 1, I'm going to bring right over here to this corner. And now I can control B and click here, because I want it here by this corner. Alright, so that I can now just align like onto next to the corner there. And then once again, this is trial and error, guys, like that. So fence node 1 will be 25.643, control C. Just want to get it on the same X or width, or what you want to call that. And node 3, same thing. Okay, there it is. And now actually I don't want it there, I want it on 25.643. I want that on so there, control V, 25.643, no, at 0, sorry, and then we want there. And node 4, once again on this corner, control B, next to this boy. Yeah, I think that's all right. And then if we take 14, control C, for X, we go that one. I can't make that 14 because I'm going to leave it just like that. All right. So just to put your fence there for start, because you're going to build your own fence. But if you don't do a fence, this will be the fence that it will use for your cow barn. It's like the automatic fence, you know, that if you don't select a fence, we could actually make it a little bit. Why does this now look, if it's so skew? If I align it from this corner over, yeah, it is very skew. So it is 14. Oh, sorry, man. What am I doing? Did I now mess up the whole thing? Let me just make sure. Fence node 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually did mess up. This fence 1 should actually probably be 0. And then you move your... Let's just do it right, guys, because otherwise you might have a problem. So fence node 1 is the corner. Control B. Now I've seen many times if you don't do it correct. Fence node 2. So we go in there. Out here, and I think I'm going to go like so that it's past these little grassy things. Give them a little bit of space, you know, that type of thing. 12.9. You can really like go crazy and spend many hours aligning and whatever, you know. But I'm just gonna, for the sake of the video, not bother too much about that. So let's just see 2611, Control C, and this one was 26, Control V, just to have it the same, roughly the same thing. And this one is on the corner, so Control B, just next to the corner there. Can bring it in a little bit like that. Okay. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Okay. So that's our fence done. Warning stripes. Now the warning stripes, marker milk. So marker milk is now going to be coming in. Marker milk will be on this side. Control B. I don't know how big that milk jug thing is, but you can physically import if you want it from, if you look at the dynamically loaded parts. It's not it, it's dynamically loaded parts. Where did I get it? There it is. You can import it from there. Where is it? Milk container, Nautilus i3D. So if you import that into your thing, just temporary, to see how big it is, to place it, and you know, that type of stuff. But I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to drop the nodes down, because I know the trigger is roughly here, and that comes up to the wood thingamabob, and this one is for the bales. Am I correct? Yeah, the bales is here. So marker animals, marker liquid, marker food. Control B, marker food, we put in the center. And then liquid manure animals. Where do we want to buy the animals? So we want to buy animals maybe here in front of the barn. Control B, I'm going to drop it here. Is that now on this thing? Here it is on top. And the liquid manure marker will be right in front of this thing here. Control B, somewhere here. Maybe put it out a little bit, something like that. Marker food, we've done those. And then now storage. Storage is 0. Teleport node is where do you want to start? I would say you would like to start in front of the barn. Control B. And normally this teleport, you're going to look in the direction roughly between the blue and the red arrows. So somewhere in that direction when you teleport there. Info trigger. Info trigger is something that normally goes across your entire barn. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as is. Sorry, I'm having the hiccups for some reason here. What the info trigger is as you walk into the trigger, it gives you that little information block at the bottom right of your screen. You're walking into a cow barn and it shows you the little icon and whatever information there is for the barn. The loading trigger, that is for your animals. So where do we want the animals to be loaded? I wonder if we can use one of these side doors. Yeah, let's use one of these side doors. Wonderful. For one of the triggers. All right. Z, z, z. Shape and non-renderable. You can obviously go crazy and build yourself a little ramp for the cows and little gates and whatever, you know. But for the sake of the video, mind you, I just want to pull that up a little bit. It was way too low down. Right, like so. Control for the control panel. So we put this somewhere on a wall. You come up there, maybe next to the wall here. And once again, this thing is just a node. Control B. You're going to have to play around with it. I'm not too even sure which side it should be, but I'm going to just zero it like that and pull it a little bit away from the wall. Milk container, it's once again just a node. Where would it drop your milk bottle thingamabob? And I'm going to control B it right here. I don't know what direction it's going to stand, I can't remember, but we put it there and then we'll have a look. And then that's the water plane that we've already done in the start, and full master, that's it there. This plane is just something that we've added, we can delete it, collapse, or okay, save is what we want to do. And now let's quickly go in game and test. Before, let's just save our barn and then go in game and test. And then hopefully we'll have some cows. And this time around we can buy a cow and see if actually the cows work and walk. And then obviously there will be hours of fiddling and twitching and adjusting and going crazy to get it to sort of align properly, you know. So that's just tweaking. What we want is, I mean, the doors, for instance, I'm not going to be bothered about the doors. You guys seen the door problem. I will sort out the doors, no issue. But what I want to know is, did we succeed in building us a custom cow barn from a barn, you know. Let's sort of select that as well. Right. And let's hope for the best. I know we're going to have errors with the doors, obviously, but the rest of the stuff should align nicely with their little nodes and triggers and stuff. And like the fill planes and the food planes and all of that stuff probably will need adjustment, you know, to obviously go and work properly. See, we got the 55% stuck again. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it even fixed the game. I can't remember now. I didn't check. Maybe we can just quickly browse here. 7 failed to validate and will be required. My word, yeah, my game was really messed up. I don't know what I did. I messed it up, guys. I messed it up. And now I want to just get to my game again. There we go. But anyway, that's so lekker about, or so nice about Steam, is you just validate the game files and it fixes if you've messed up something. It replaces all the files that didn't check out, and then you don't have to worry. So lekker. I love it. Okay, so purchase. No, we want to add some money first. Once again, forgot to check the price of that thing. Purchase. Oh man. What is going on here? I've got a mod that this is it Shift S? That is full and suddenly now it's also working on the W, so if I press a shift it is weird. Anyway, and I can't get out of this stupid thing. Previous menu. Q, previous menu. Next menu, rotate come. This is my wardrobe, but I want to go into my shop to buy. There you go. Making me crazy. Normally if you press P it opens it up, but anyway, let me just go in here, and there's our barn. And now I just need to zoom out a little bit and find our farm, which is here. I think I'm going to drop it down here again like that. And then, oh, do you want to customize the fence? Yes please. And then now you can see there's our first pole and our last pole. They are highlighted green, so now we can put a big navigation mesh down here for the cows to walk and be happy. And then we can say plant meadow, yes, thank you. And as you can see, as I said, the straw is too high, so you will probably want it to be just underground then, just kissing the underground, not the top of the ground, so then it will probably be fine. Great, so go to the farm and visit, and this time remember where we put the teleport node, and I looked that way, so it looks like we look in the direction of one of those arrows, maybe the blue arrow. And then here, if I now press R, so I wonder now, can I not, let me just see under cows, farm barn, it is there, so I do, it is registering it as cows. There's our liquid manure. Oh man, this thing is making me crazy. What's going on? I think maybe it needs an update or something, or they updated it and now something is wrong. And this trigger is actually working. Wow. Things is not so good. And look at that. You see, so this needs to come forward a little bit. All of that. Oh, you know what the problem now is? I can't drive up there to test. Can I jump up here? Fall off, Farmer Bob. Right, and there's our little liquid manure tank and our thingamabob there. So if I now, I wonder if I can drop a thing in the building. Oh, that will be interesting. Let's have a look. Farm products, square bale. Let's go for the 240 grass, unwrapped. Does it fall inside? Yes, it does. So if I now now I must just put on super strength as well. Okay, so I can chuck this bale. There you go. It went in. That means our trigger is working. Yeah, wonderful. So if I now go to the cows, you'll see grass is growing there. So our bale trigger is working, and I suppose our milk trigger and everything will be working. It's just this trigger that I might need to put on the ground somewhere. If I press F1, oh, you know what? I wonder if it's confusing. I think the trigger is in the gate trigger. So, okay. So, but that is something very small to figure out. What I can do is go to the map and then find the animal dealer, which is there. Visit the animal dealer. Press R and select some cows, big ones. Cow pasture, no farm barn. Alright, and let's go 135. I forgot to add more cows, but I suppose 135 is a lot for that small barn. And anyway, so I think I'll leave it like that. And now once again, back to the farm, which is there. Visit. If I now run down, I should have cows running in and out. Let's just open these doors for them. There you can see the exact full root note, or the food fill volume is coming. So I've added the grass and suddenly it shows there, so that is good. Everything seems to work fine, guys, and they have got pasture to graze. So if I now go into cow, you'll see they have grass, meadow, 40%. So there is some grass for them. And the grass that I've added via via the bales, and no manure heap nearby. Okay, straw, we didn't test the straw, but if the grass bales are working, the straw should also work, because remember that works with the it's in the same spot. So let's F12 here, some bales of straw. So that one should oh, you can't put bales on it's not for, you have to tip with the trailer, man. Sorry, you have to bring straw with the trailer. The bales don't work, if I'm correct. Am I talking trash? Let's have a quick browse. Yeah, this one has got a bale trigger. Does this have? Let's have a look. Cowbarn Barn 1. Food, animals and slurry. Nope, no trigger for bales. It's got a trigger for bale grass, but not for bale straw. So yeah, straw plain. Exact full root note straw. That is for tipping, not for a trigger, for a bale. Okay, so you see, it's got a bale trigger, but the bale trigger is for the food. Okay, anyway, so that, guys, is basically how you can convert or add a cow thing to a normal barn with a lot of effort. And there's still a few things that we need to sort, but as you can see, it is working, and we have all the basics there. If I can just now find my farm again. I don't really, there we go, there we go, there we go. This one, yeah, visit it, and there it is. Look at that. So the straw planes, I've made a video in the FS25 playlist for creating navigation meshes and all of that, and in there, if I remember correctly, I showed how to or was it in the custom cow barn? I made a custom cow barn. Yes, I think it is in the custom cow barn video for FS25 in the FS25 playlist, guys. If you watch that video, I'll show in there how to do a custom navigation mesh and how to do a custom straw plane, how to make it look nice. So these things, they are too high. You just drop them down a little bit in the i3D so that they're underground and not above ground, and then as you add straw, they will start piling up on top, you know, but obviously they look horrible. And then these things needs to go back a little bit, and then the last thing I wanted to check was the control panel, where we put that up, just around the corner here. Oh yeah, here you can see it's in the wrong direction, so now you know you need to swing this 90 degrees out, and there it is. You've got the control panel sitting there. Good, great, guys. So basically I think we've got a working cow barn. It needs a bit of tweaking still, some fixes and tweaking, but all the basics work, and I'm pretty happy with that. I can't say that there's any more things to do except for fixing all the little tiny things, but I think I've covered all the bases of adding a custom cow barn into a normal barn, and there you have it. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's really been fun. Really appreciate you guys. Do remember to share, to like, to subscribe, and hit the bell and all of that. And do consider, if you like my stuff, do consider support on Patreon. I do appreciate that very much, guys. You guys are awesome. Have a wonderful, fantastic week. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.